Ladies and gentlemen, the first padded practice of the Buffalo Bills training camp season is in the books. And at the beginning of practice, we saw Sean McDermott hit the podium, and he said that he wanted nothing but nasty physical defense. And I got to tell you, while the offense certainly made a name for themselves again with establishing chemistry with Joshua Palmer, Keon Coleman, who has been having a damn hell of a day, I can tell you, man, this defense is making me feel a hell of a lot better now that we actually were able to get a larger sample size of things I feel confident taking away. As many of you know, specifically how I feel about the beginning of training camp, same thing with OTAs, same thing with mini camp. No pads, most of the time, you're not really going to learn anything. But I got to say, the Buffalo Bills, for the most part, came out impressing on both sides of the field. Now, obviously, we did have quite a bit of players on the injury list leading up into today's practice. And we only ended up having two guys with injury scares. I may be wrong. Maybe it was three. But the two notable names was Alec Anderson, who ultimately ended up getting escorted off of the field with trainers. I do not believe he returned. And then TJ Sanders at the beginning of practice, although he was back out on the field where he was clearly cleared from our in-house doctors and training staff. But a lot to unpack today. And you'll notice that I had to discuss a bit about the injury list. I am lucky enough to be welcoming on our good friend Thigh Doctor. He does a lot of work for Buffalo Fanatics. He is a friend of this show. We are going to be welcoming on Thigh Doc here in about 15, 20 minutes, where he is going to spell out and hopefully talk us off of a ledge. Because I cannot tell you this morning how many people in the live chat were coming in and saying, oh my God, Dan, this is worst case scenario, or any other teams dealing with this. I can go on ahead and provide a spoiler alert. Yes, we are not the only team dealing with a litany of soft tissue concerns. But there are three specific injuries I did want to discuss with Thigh Doctor once he comes on. That is the pelvic injury with Tyler Bass. And that explains because yesterday his day was atrocious. And when I mean atrocious, I mean atrocious. So sounds like it had something to do with his health. We will learn more. Same thing with Dalton Kincaid and his knee soreness. That is something we sort of want to put a massive microscope under and understand, right? Can this young tight end, can he bounce back? He had knee issues last year. He supposedly had some sort of procedure to fix what was wrong with it. Because, damn, look, I will tell you what, Dalton Kincaid has been very encouraging in practice thus far, and we need him to go out and make a statement in 2025. That, and among many other things, including defensive line and offensive line notes from practice, welcome to another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Folks, we are getting to that time where it is regular Dan's schedule time. You know, football is right around the corner. The very first game is on Thursday. So from now on, I want everyone to ingrain this in their minds. From now on, I will be live at 9 a.m. EST. All right. That's Monday through Friday. And I am going to attempt to bring that to about 2 hours to 2.5 hours each and every single morning. Of course, considering how much there is to talk about. However, I have a feeling we will have no trouble. Followed a 6 p.m. EST stream, which is certainly not going to be as long as the morning stream, but really just an unpacking day, and a day, of course, where we can utilize the Garage Beer Hotline, where many of you know I allow you guys to call in, let me know what is on your mind. I'm trying to keep it short because I have been noticing more and more people hopping backstage, so I think we're probably going to treat it more so like a radio station where you come in, you make a statement, you ask a question, I boot you off, and then I end up giving you my answer. But I'm saying all of this, I'm hopping on this soapbox by saying I am so glad football is back. I am so glad my regular schedule is back. And more importantly, a giant shout out to all the homies that stuck with me all off season during the doldrums and boring parts of the season. Hit that thumbs up sign right now, folks. I have a new rule. If there is a certain amount of people watching me every single morning, We need to have as many like buttons smashed. So there's 69 people watching. Very nice. 69 people have to hit that thumbs up sign so we can propel this out to the YouTube algorithm. I do my best to consolidate every single piece of information surrounding your favorite team and things around the NFL. So hit that thumbs up sign. No questions asked. As always, please do me a favor, roll call in the chat and let me know where you are tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. And then we're going to get into some of my standouts from today's practice, amongst other things. Do not be shy. I am even including the lurkers in the chat. Lurkers, you know who you are. Let me know where you were tuning in from. How far does Bills Mafia extend? Drea is coming in. Hello, Big Dan. What's going on? Dwayne, shout out Dwayne, my guy. What is up, guys? Cheetos and Netflix is in the building. Go Bills. Bills Glazer. 12 injuries. The bumbling Bills strike again. Zoo is not feeling good right about those Buffalo Bills injuries. I can tell you, though, hopefully Thigh Doc will be able to talk us off of a ledge. He should be joining us here in about 10 minutes so we can unpack all of that ad nauseum. Dan, did you see about the Bills bringing in Justin Ross and Willie Snead? Bryson Reed, I did see that, and I got to tell you, in fact, might as well just bring this up and make this one of the first topics that we could discuss here. Justin Reed. Let's go on ahead and have a conversation. Justin Ross, former wide receiver for the Clemson Tigers. Everybody was so high on him potentially being a big asset to the Buffalo Bills. But let's go with roll call and see where everyone's tuning in. Guys, do not be shy. Roll call in the chat right now. We have Toronto in the building. West Seneca, New York, baby. Columbus, Ohio. Cobleskill, New York. Go Bills. We have Happy Monday. Hey, everybody. Manistee, Michigan is in the building. James, hope you are doing well. We have Sending Bills Hate from Pyongyang. Oh, my God. Go Bills. From Jacksonville, Florida. Hamburg is in the building. We have Let's Go Buffalo from Mahomes' mom's house, live and direct from Buffalo, New York. Brian Christopher, I hope you enjoyed your Monday as much as anyone can enjoy a Monday, my friend. Thank you for tuning in and showing a little bit of love. Calgary, Alberta is in the chat. Ross isn't retired. I guess not. We have Oswego, New York, Buffalo, New York, Philly behind enemy lines. Drew is in the building. Knoxville, Tennessee, go Bills. Daniel Hopewell as well. We have Georgia in the building. Batavia, New York, go Bills. Ro, how are you doing? In the pool, Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, hey, listen, you have come in on a great episode because we are going to be unpacking everything we learned from camp today. And tomorrow, guys, for future reference, say that you don't want to wait for this episode or say that you don't want to wait for all the tidbits that come out of camp. I highly recommend that you join my morning stream tomorrow. Use me as a radio station or some white noise to play in the background while you are working, while you are going about your day-to-day errands. I am providing all of the information that comes out of camp as it comes in. So make sure you have those bell notifications turned on so you do not miss a thing. Justin Ross, a wide receiver at Clemson. And when I tell you, prior to his injury, leading up into the NFL draft, this guy was the dude. He was the dude. Now, here's my take on all of this. We bring in Justin Ross. We bring in Willie Snead as well. And that's according to reports. I did not hear that officially, but I did see somebody in the chat lock that down. Another wide receiver, right? So we have Willie Snead. We have Justin Ross. Here's my take. Who exactly are they being brought in for via a workout? It's more than likely because Brandon Beane just wants to make sure that he has all of his ducks in a row. He wants to bring in further competition since pads are coming in. Maybe he wants to get ahead of a couple of things because as we know, the Buffalo Bills have had a CVS receipt of an injury report. 12 guys were on the list this morning, and one is more than likely going to be added tomorrow. So I don't particularly think that Ross/Snead have any chance of making this team. I'm still pretty much locked in with the assumption that the 5 notable names, like the 5 for sure names, are going to be on this roster. You have Khalil Shakir, you have Keon Coleman, you have Curtis Samuel, you have Joshua Palmer, you have Elijah Moore, and then whoever ultimately ends up winning the kick return role. Maybe Ross is being brought in for some special team purposes. Maybe Snead is being brought in for special teams purposes. Of course, although that our boy Willie Snead is 32 years old, so I'm not sure if that's something that's on his resume. But look, I have fallen victim to quite a few romanticized stories in my life when it comes into camp sweethearts. And Ross, while he was a stud in college, unfortunately, he was just never the same. And yes, I understand he had a couple of good plays in the preseason while he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. But guys, let's not pretend that Kansas City has had a star-studded wide receiving room in quite some time. Since Tyreek Hill has been gone, for the most part, they have a bunch of 2s and 3s, similar to what Buffalo has. Like, that is a DNA, and that is a system that works. When you have an elite quarterback, it doesn't matter. So my red flag for this is, if Justin Ross was so good, why did he not get any snaps in that overall offense, right? Like, how was he beat out by Juju Smith-Schuster? How was he beat out by a variety of other wide receivers? I am not going to look much into this. I do not think that he lasts on this team longer than after week 1 of the preseason. Again, I would like to say that I would be pleasantly surprised and I would be happy if he ultimately does end up winning a spot on this team. But unless he can contribute something right on special teams, I do not see a path for either of these wide receivers to make this team. I just don't see it. For roll call, you should get a world map and try to cross off everything. Noel16 is coming in actually with a great suggestion. I'm going to have to take a look at it, man. I am going to have to take a look at it. Thank you guys so much for coming in and showing love. We have Collinsville, Virginia is in the chat as well. Maya, sup, Dan? What is going on? I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful Monday morning, July 28th here in Florida, and I am ecstatic that I get to talk to my friends this afternoon about everything that happened at camp. So we need to talk about some standouts. And as many of you know, we had pads on, and there was one player that has had a very strong beginning of their camp. And I saw it all over the internet where people said, hey, let's see how he looks in pads. How is this man going to look in pads? Then we'll start to get excited. And let me tell you who delivered, ladies and gentlemen. None other than our good friend Keon Coleman. And I got to tell you what, I have even been pleasantly surprised with this wide receiver. Because yes, is he going out there? Is he creating that yards after the catch that we knew him as in 2024? Yes. Is he still a threat when it comes into physically battling a DB for a contested catch? Yes. But the big thing that's been standing out to me today, folks, and the past couple of days, is the man's been creating separation. Huh? Let's have a round of applause here for our second-year Buffalo Bill wide receiver for obviously getting in the lab this offseason. We saw the press conference where he said he reviewed his tape from his rookie season, and he said, quote unquote, verbatim, that shit trash. Well, let me tell you what, Keon, we noticed the work that you've been putting out, and I got to tell you, some of the biggest things, and one take that I saw that really got my juices flowing, that really got my gears turning, was the fact that our good friend Keon Coleman is creating separation consistently with some of the fastest DBs on our roster. Now, does that mean that Keon has turned his 40-yard dash to a 4.5 or a 4.6? Absolutely not. But what does that mean, folks? It means that his route running is so clearly improving, it's absolutely mind-blowing. That's exactly what we're getting. So Keon Coleman is indeed my first standout of fully padded practices on the offensive side of the football. However, folks, I do need to let each and every single one of you know that we have a special guest. You are familiar with this guy. He joined us just a few days ago last week to discuss the injury report on the Buffalo Bills side of things. But let me tell you what, we have a hell of a lot more to discuss today because look at this damn CVS receipt presented by Chris Brown and, of course, from the press conference earlier today from Sean McDermott. I welcome our good friend Thigh Doctor to the show.
Hey.
Oh, man.
What's up, buddy? How we doing?
Oh, man, living the dream. So
I'm actually taking the call on the helmet phone.
Interesting. So I thought like you plugged a microphone to it, like you actually hooked up the helmet phone
to the
That's beautiful. Man.
To the streaming.
That is beautiful. I was looking over your profile a bit earlier because I was trying to think of some things to ask you once you hopped on, and I did see you tease that helmet phone just a couple of days ago. And regardless, man, love the creativity. And I mean, hell, dude, we are thrilled that you are here, hoping that you can talk us off of a ledge for a variety of these little injuries that we're seeing.
Yeah, so just take them one at a time. I can't see the screen too well right now because I'm on the helmet phone, but just say the name and I'll run it through you.
Yeah, most definitely. So obviously I do not have much of a medical background. I don't have one at all. But when I look at this list, and it is the full list, not including Alec Anderson, who, of course, ended up leaving practice and did not return today. But I am seeing a lot of soft tissue injuries. And a part of me is feeling that this is not something Buffalo is exclusively dealing with across the league. And I've been trying to tell a lot of the fans that are concerned this shouldn't be something that they should lose sleep over. It might be a time where I guess Buffalo is just trying to err with some additional caution. Maybe these guys wouldn't have been added onto the list, say that it was in the regular season. What are your thoughts on the guys that are just going through some hamstring issues, some soreness? Is this something that we should be concerned about from that side of things?
No, soft tissue is going to happen in camp. It's a given. Nobody has shown to like, oh man, hey, like Milano like pulled up, he was grabbing his hamstring. There's none of that. These guys are kind of quietly coming off the field, so I think they're just feeling like, some tightness, things like that. Those usually fall into the very mild strain category. So they come in they come in three categories: 1, 2, and 3. I would say these are all in the grade 1 or less, and the teams can be conservative because it's camp. You'll especially see that with the veterans. So I would say a lot of that soft tissue we're looking at, day to day to 2 weeks. Nothing serious.
Okay.
They can take their time with it if it's someone like Bernard. So maybe he takes more time because, he's already kind of a veteran who kind of knows the defense. I'd say the ones that you want to be a little more concerned with are the ones that are recurring.
Yeah.
So with a Bernard, like I mentioned, he's had a hamstring before, and he's had some soft tissue like pec and stuff. So maybe they do give him like the full 2 weeks and change on that one. But no one else really pops off the screen for anything significant. I think the big one from yesterday was the receiver.
With Shavers with the ankle, which McDermott said he's not concerned, he said. But
so it came out, I think that Getzberg girl said it was a low ankle sprain from a source. So that is the best case scenario. Those are day to day to 2 weeks. Generally like 1 to 2 weeks. But the reports that were coming out were so severe. They said, oh, he was screaming. The team had to come and console him, and he got carted off. So I was like, oh, man. And he got rolled up on, it sounded like, because it was getting challenged for the play. So, I threw it out there that, maybe he had like a tib fracture. Because that is common when you do get rolled up on. That is like the high ankle sprain type. And the bad ones are the ones that break. So, with that said, low ankle sprain, again, you're looking at something 1 to 2 weeks. We got Spencer Brown still sitting on the sideline. That's a little more concerning, especially because he has the history of having the back surgery. Looking to get him back eventually. I know the team's not rushing, but that's one that I would say could become a chronic issue, like, in and out of the injury report with a back injury. It takes quite a bit for him to get kind of shut down for a couple of weeks, and hopefully it doesn't lead to something that needs another surgery. But
let's hope not.
With that said, probably don't expect him back until after that red and blue scrimmage there.
So what's helpful is that it sounds like Tylen Grable has really impressed so far in camp, very much like he did last year, but obviously he was sidelined due to an injury as well. But with Spencer Brown, I know that all of us are just crossing our fingers, and he is good for week one because you do not want to break up that continuity on an offensive line that made Josh Allen the least sacked quarterback in the NFL. I did want to ask you right before we end up going into the very interesting injury that Tyler Bass has, but why is it that there's such an uptick in soft tissue injuries toward the beginning of camp league wide? Does that have to do with like lack of like hydrating, or does it have to do with players maybe not putting a massive priority in continuing to stay in shape over the offseason? Why is it like this during this time of the year?
So I think it's just getting a taste of football movements again. It's common in camp because the body hasn't acclimated to it yet. So these guys work out. They're well-trained athletes. I don't think they're sandbagging their off season, but I think they come in and you have to react. You have to sprint hard, chase guys down, take some contact, so off balance, try to fire your muscles to steady yourself, and that's what kind of twinges these up. Again, none of them sound like a grade 2 plus. Like, hey, I saw someone running and they were grabbing their hamstring and they had to like lay down right away. So that's a good sign. But again, like conditioning, getting acclimated to sport. That's why you see these things early. It happens every year. Everyone freaks out every year, but it's pretty standard, I'd say.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, that certainly makes me feel better. I hope everybody in the chat feels the exact same way. Guys, make sure you give a giant welcome to our good friend Thigh Doctor in here right now. 204 of you watching us right now, 115 on YouTube. We have 71 on X. Guys, we all know that we're supposed to hit that thumbs up sign as we come in. We are trying to build the largest live chat community on the damn internet. Show Thigh Doc some love in the chat. And let's get into the big one because I got to tell you, I was not anticipating this breakdown that we got from you this morning, my friend. Tyler Bass's pelvic injury with a peanut emoji right next to it. So it sounds like it's in the sacred zone over here. And I mean, honestly, I'm just going to have you take it over and let us sort of understand what could be the problem with him because I was not like this was not on my bingo card for an injury I thought that we would be reacting to.
Yeah, so pubic pain, I mean, that's a pretty specific designation for a player. Sometimes, guys do get groin pain, but they'll list it as groin pain. So pelvic pain's like, what can be going on with a guy's pelvis? Well, there's one common injury that is the pubic symphysis. That's like the little area down near the boys where the pelvic, two sides of the pelvis connect. It's deep down there in the middle. So that's osteitis pubis. That's an inflammation of the bone marrow where they connect. Now, it can come in all shapes and sizes. He might just be sore there, and they're saying shut it down. But when a guy works through that and it gets real bad, you get a lot of bone marrow edema. That means like swelling in the bone, like a bruised bone down there. It could take months. And this is a kicker, right? This isn't like a lineman. It's someone who's got to swing their hips. This could actually be a big deal. So we will see. They might just be saying, hey, it's a little sore, shut them down. It's camp. But this definitely is a red flag. And, I know someone who dealt with that. He had to get injections and stuff. That was Jairus Byrd back in the day. But you could see that he got through his career, but it really made him struggle in college. And then another area that kind of goes through the pelvic region that's a common sports injury is the sports hernia. Now, a lot of times they call that core groin. So I'd be shocked that he's dealing with that and they called it pelvic pain. But, I wouldn't put it past him that it could be related. So sports hernia, that's like inflammation where your deep core muscles come out of a little ring in your pelvic area. Speaking of Grable had that surgery last year.
Interesting. Oh,
Tyrod Taylor had that surgery. Now that surgery is a slam dunk though. So it's like 6 weeks and these guys are pain free. They could probably play within 2 months. But again, it's not your average player. This is a kicker. So that area bothering a kicker, I mean, a little pain here, a little pain there, you slice it a little left, slice it a little right, his accuracy can go way down from this, let alone take his power away. So this one isn't one to scoff at. Let's see how it goes. If, he's off for a couple days and he's back and you don't hear from it again, great. But I'm holding my breath on it.
So how would this even be caused in the first place? Because yesterday we heard that he was struggling terribly out on his place kicks. He went something like 50%, I think. It was all over the place. Could that have been triggered yesterday while it was raining and those conditions were suspect?
For sure. Okay. Yeah, it could have been bothering him, and that's why his accuracy was off. Now, ideally, he's got just a little baby strain in the area, and it's not a big deal. He just tweaked something, maybe slipped a little bit because it was raining out, and he's back in a couple days. So I'm not here to sound the alarm, but just when someone says someone has pelvic pain, you can agree. You haven't heard that very often, correct?
No.
So these are some common conditions with athletes that are in that area. If they said groin, if they said hip flexor, I'd be singing a different tune. These are a little different to use that word pelvic pain. So very interesting, and we'll see how that shakes out.
Okay. Next up, have to talk about our good friend Dalton Kincaid, right? Like you said, missed 4 games last year with a PCL injury to his left knee. I'm not sure whether or not that I've just been so dominated with offseason content that I forgot about this. I don't remember whether or not he had a procedure on this to sort of clean it up.
Procedure.
Okay, so he had no procedure. So are you saying that maybe this little fall that he took against Indy last year may have been more significant? What the hell is going on with his knee?
So PCLs, it's a sprain of the ligament. It's the opposite of the ACL. It's still deep in the knee, but they are very rarely taken care of surgically. Your knee doesn't rely on it that much, but it does protect it from some shearing forces at your leg. So when you plant, stuff like that. The ACL is obviously more important. That's why even a partial ACL tear, these guys fix them in professional football. So what could be going on? I don't know. Was it a big enough sprain? It must have been. It kept him out 4 to 6 weeks. That it's actually still a little loose, and he gets a little shifting in his knee, and it's bothering him. It's causing inflammation. Is there some meniscus type issue involved, where it's not enough to clean it up, but it's something that gets irritated again from that micro instability? Or is it something new? He just banged his knee and it's swollen. I doubt it. But it could be too. So we'll see. It sounds like maybe this is something that's going to flare up on and off. Could it become a chronic thing? Absolutely. But do a lot of guys pop up on these reports? My knee's a little swollen, but they still end up playing the next Sunday. It happens all the time. So we'll see how it goes. I know it's very alarming because he's a young guy. We're counting on to get better. He's got the history of the injuries that, maligned his season last year, and the team said, I want you to get stronger and healthier. And here we are, still looking skinny and having a banged up knee.
Still not in the gym, and so he didn't up his calories, my friend. Like we needed him to put that.
Remember that picture? I mean, that picture that went viral. He looked like he had a flat chest and he had 2 knee braces on.
I did remember that.
Yeah. I mean, that went viral for a reason, because the team was literally like, you got to get in the gym, you got to get healthy, and then here he is looking skinnier than ever, and two wonky knees in OTAs. But I don't know.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah, he's solid. I wouldn't expect him to ever be a bulky guy. He's like a tweener tight end receiver, but he's good at what he does. So hopefully he gets healthy enough and can perform.
Yeah, man, that is less than ideal. We need Dalton Kincaid to up his calories and hit them PRs, baby. That's what we need here. Next up, I wanted to talk about Dorian Williams, because when it comes down into the number one concern for me, I would say, is lack of depth at the linebacker room. We have Shaq Thompson. That's all great, and that's all well and good. And I think we can all agree that Balen Spector is an absolute liability when he's out on the field. So Dorian Williams is a key depth piece to us. I guess he was in a boot yesterday. Saw that he was just in a sleeve today. Thoughts on him?
Yeah, so, I mean, being in a boot for a calf strain is not the end of the world. Is that him today? So he's out of the boot. He was in the boot.
That's him.
I was at camp on Friday, so he was standing there with a boot, so I can confirm he was in a boot. Now, it was the day after he got hurt, so teams can be cautious, but usually it takes a little more than a little tweak to need that boot the next day. It must have been some considerable pain. So with that said, but he wasn't. It's not like he was on a scooter or anything. So I heard Van Grant Pranger was on a scooter earlier. This week in camp, and he had that injury prior to camp starting. So that's probably like a 4-weeker. Again, I'd still put him in a bucket of a 2-week injury. But if the team wants to be conservative, drag it out to 3 to 4. More power to him, but he's going to miss valuable reps. I understand he is technically a backup, but if I was the Bills and teams are running on me, he's a very valuable linebacker 3 in those 3 LB sets and integral backup to Matt Milano, whom I will not slam the table and say he's healthy because
he's back, man.
Okay. Just I'm not a Matt Milano hater. I love Matt Milano.
Oh no.
But Matt
okay,
Milano,
you talk to us about Matt Milano.
All right. He does look good. He looks smooth. He looks faster. Okay. But that's him going downhill and blowing up a play. He's doing that with his brain, and it's a straight line. I watched him do a 1v1 versus Cook. So, it's a pass drill. So the running back comes out of the backfield. He shook him so bad. Like, it wasn't close. It was like 6 yards of separation. Cook got the ball, and Milano kind of pulled up and kind of shook his knee out a little bit. And I was thinking, damn. So straight coming downhill. That's what I was talking about last week. Like, he's a big, strong, bulky guy. He can play downhill, like a downhill linebacker, like a Ray Lewis kinda. But I wouldn't count on him being very great in the pass game anymore if he's got to do agility work. That's where his knee is not holding up. So change of direction, stuff like that. I'd be a little nervous, especially that he got burnt like that and then he kind of shook it out, and I was like, oh damn.
So you're thinking that his coverage capabilities may take a significant regression this year.
I mean, we saw it last year. Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be 100%
It's never coming back. It's never coming back is what you're suggesting.
He's gotten something back because he looks faster. But again, that's downhill, straight line. It's the change of direction he's going to struggle with. You're going to see him at some point this year get shook.
Okay.
I can see it happening. But again, it's like Von Miller. So Von Miller, the first year back off his ACL, a dud. Last year, serviceable, but not him himself. That's how I see this going down.
Interesting. So you mentioned you were at camp yesterday, or excuse me, on Friday with Z-Bot, and a lot of people are really high on Keon Coleman's performance. A lot of people are saying that he's been playing pretty well. He is coming off of his injury from last year.
Yeah.
How has he looked?
I mean,
in your eyes,
he looks fine. He looks good. He's not a separator, so he's going to look better when the pads come on. He's a physical guy who uses his body. So, when they're playing in shorts, and that's like a day for guys who are agile, who get separation to shine, those are the guys that are going to look good on that day. When the pads go on, the big boys come out, that's his forte. So on Friday, he did, he had a nice touchdown. Trey White slipped. That's why he was open. But he also dropped 2 balls pretty bad. And I think he got some heat for that. And then I think he came out on the rainy day on Sunday and showed out when the pads were on. Show the pads.
Man, well, I'll tell you what, dude. We are excited, and we thank you for taking a little bit of time and chatting with us today, Thigh Doc. Guys, as always, I want you to head on over to Thigh Doc's X accounts. I am going to be posting some of these clips that I think the X world will enjoy. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that pelvic injury. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that Dalton Kincaid knee update, and then maybe a not so fast on Matt Milano, folks. I'm going to love those clips. Guys, go follow Thigh Doc right now on X at Thigh Doctor. I hope that he's a regular guest on this show all year long, because unfortunately that's a part of the damn game, is dealing with these injuries. Thigh Doc, and do you have anything that you would like to say? And before we set you off on this beautiful Monday.
My pleasure. Go Bills.
Dude, go Bills, man. That's my guy right there, dude. Shout out to my guy, the thigh doctor, for coming in and attempting to talk us off of a ledge. All right, guys, we have learned from Thigh Doc, and I am going to more than likely repost this as a separate upload for you guys to revisit later if necessary. Don't worry about any of the soft tissue stuff. A lot of teams are overly cautious about this. Grade 1, as he said, at absolute worst, 1 to 2 weeks. A lot of players, a lot of teams are dealing with this, and they're getting back into football movements. It's shocking the body. We are okay. Pelvic issue might be a problem for Tyler Bass. Say that it's worst case scenario. If it's worst case scenario, something that Tylen Grable ultimately ended up getting surgery under, we could potentially miss out on Tyler Bass for 2 months. Say that that is truly the issue. It's not groin pain, folks. It's pelvic pain. And as he eloquently described, something that might be a pretty massive red flag. Could you all imagine if we had to just start from ground zero? All right. And try and find a replacement kicker for the upcoming season for at least a couple of weeks. That would be rough. We would need Josh Allen to do his damn thing. We would need Joe Brady to go out there and do his damn thing. But I do got to tell you what, guys. We need to open up the Garage Beer Hotline. As many of you guys know, I like opening up my show to fans to call in and tell me exactly what is on their mind. Again, guys, this is going to be structured very similarly to a radio show, about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You tell me what's on your mind, or you ask me a question. I boot you off. We talk about it. It's completely for free. It's just something I would like to do to bring back to you guys, since you always make it a part to hang out with me on a regular basis. Dominic has come in with the first super chat of the day. Dan, keep doing your thing. Let's go, Buffalo. Dom, I hope you're doing well today. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go on ahead and open up the Garage Beer Hotline. It is now officially in the chat. I am pinning it up top. Feel free to call in, and I'm going to start letting in callers. After, of course, I tell you who my standout player of the day was. Now, I got to tell you, my boy Thigh Doctor may have made me pause a tad, but there is no mistake, no issue that Matt Milano had a hell of a practice today on his damn birthday. Happy birthday to the Italian stallion himself. He was all over the field. He was absolutely all over the field today, specifically on the downhill scheme, like we heard, of course, from Thigh Doctor. Coverage may still be a bit of an issue based off of what he saw in person on Friday, but it feels so good because we have had to deal with injury after injury with Matt Milano. And quite frankly, when I look at that injury report, I was almost expecting to see Matt Milano on that list this morning. Not that I would wish for it to happen, but it's something we have grown accustomed to. However, sounds like he had several tackles for losses. One specifically was against KJ Hamler. Massive tackle for loss coming downhill, absolutely bamboozling them. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Shout out to Matt Milano for being my defensive player of the game. And let's let in our first caller of the day. We got Dwayne. What up, Dwayne? What's on your mind?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Chilling, man. Trying to. What's up?
3 things. Number 1, looks like our wide receivers are really putting together. Good to see Coleman. That's really figuring out his roots again. Figuring out, where he came from, and the work that he had to put in to get where he's at. Second point, as far as Bass, I really think we need to start right now as far as looking for an interim kicker. Yeah. I don't think that's something that should be messed with. This is the time when you can screw around with your roster, add a couple kickers, let them work it out. I wouldn't mess with it another day. Number 3, we got a little bit lucky with Shavers in his boot, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was looking at months with him. I really was. And I guess he's already going to get out of his boot tomorrow. So,
yeah. Dude, listen, it's a low ankle sprain, so that's good. It's not a high ankle sprain. So I think you'll still have an opportunity to make a place for himself on this roster. Again, when it comes in...
our injury list is big.
It is.
Most of them are minor. We're dodging some huge bullets. You see some of the huge injuries around the league. We have not had those huge injuries. Bass is a pretty big one, but it's not game changing for us as far as I'm concerned.
And so do keep in mind, folks, as well, like that pelvic injury is largely just speculative. For all we know, especially from what thigh doctor said, like it could just be sore and it could be nothing. But I'd say if anything is raising your blood pressure, it's got to be this injury right here for Tyler Bass. And so I'm not sure if Dwayne...
It's those tissues just right in between right there. It's nasty.
Dude, you need that, man, when you're going for a 52-yarder to win the game.
Well, when you're able to do a karate kick above your head, I mean, damn.
Yeah.
You need to have that flexibility. One last thing before I got out of here.
Go ahead.
I know you just sat down and got comfortable, but if you don't kick Bob's ass this show, you and I will be having a talk. Peace.
All right, dude. I got you, man. Don't worry about that. Guys, listen, y'all have missed the Bob ass beatings. And don't worry, they are coming back. Hold on. And so I had to give him a little kiss, you know what I mean? And so I pulled a Christian Wilkins. Matthew, what up, dude? How you doing?
Hey, Dan. Want to go pull Christian Wilkins and go tickle him? Go give Bob a little tickle.
Yeah, I had to tickle his toes a little bit, and I gave bro a smooch. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I did. What's up?
What's up, Dan? Long time no see. Well, no here, but I'm watching. But of course, with some training camp going, Rivalry hotline has taken a little sidetrack. Now we actually have stuff to do.
Yeah, man, good. So I'm definitely hoping that I could be a way for you guys to unplug a little bit, like while you're going about your day to day. But have no fear, man. This Garage Beer Hotline is going to be live all season long. It's just training camp is a bit of an animal of its own.
Now with the injury to Tyler Bass.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. Is Justin Tucker on the NFL roster right now?
Oh no. Oh no, bro. No. Oh no, he's not. And I don't think that Brandon Bean would think that he was a culture fit. I don't think that he was, right? Like we kind of had something that was a bit hairy with Max Hairston. It turns out that all evidence is pointing to the fact that it was a false accusation. But I don't think that Justin Tucker is coming to the Buffalo Bills. I can tell you that.
Hey, couldn't we fully guarantee it? I feel like in 100 millions. Come on, let's do it. Hey, but real serious question now.
Should we bring in Justin Tucker? Oh my God, dude.
Serious question now. What do you want to see? What haven't you seen during training camp that you would need to see more of, or any of it at all? Like any player, any position.
So I'll tell you what, and bear with me for 3 seconds. Sorry about that. So today was the first day of pads. So what I need to see are big splash plays from our rookies, because Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi are going to be gone for 6 weeks. We will not see them until week 8, I want to say. So, yeah.
8 or 7. I don't know.
Yeah. So specifically, we need to see some splash plays from Landon Jackson, and we need to see some splash plays from Deion Walker, because God forbid that Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver miss any sort of time. Like, we are thin right from a depth perspective. Once week 8 gets here, we are in a far better place, but I would be able to sleep a hell of a lot better at night knowing that our rookies could at least provide something if we're in a pinch. I think that's where I'm at right now.
Hey, I mean, we already started with Max Harrison. He's been showing out. Also, my former Seminole Keon Coleman, baby.
Oh,
worth it. Yeah. He's worth my pick, baby.
Keon Coleman.
One last thing, then I'll let you go.
University.
Go Noles. Oh. And one last thing. I just got a new all-black Bills hat and an all-black Bills shirt. So restocking for the season.
Dude, Lock in, man.
Gotta
Get
save up for the
barbed up
rivalry uniforms.
and get your damn Bills merchandise, memorabilia, baby. Football is almost here. Matthew, I appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you so much.
Bye, Dan.
Thank you, man. Matthew, shout out, man. Regular caller over here, man. We all know Matthew. We all love Matthew. And our resident Patriots fan, folks, listen, do not be shy. If, for example, you would like to call in and talk about anything that is on your mind pertaining to today, trends that you have been noticing at training camp that perhaps you didn't hear me talk about, don't be shy, man. Listen, that link is live, pinned at the top of the chat. Anybody is welcome to call in. 6 rings, man. Patriots fans in the building. What's up, dude? How you doing?
It's good. I got a few things, too. The first thing. Oh, you should have seen what Stephon Diggs did to Christian Gonzalez. I think he's injured.
Who?
Christian Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez is injured. What did Diggs do?
Diggs, he crossed him over. He was running the route, and then he literally just you know, in basketball when you get crossed over and you break your ankles?
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke his ankles.
All right, so we have CB, Christian Gonzalez, and wide receiver Stephon Diggs have spent one-on-one time. Okay, we saw that.
Yeah, he's injured.
He's injured. What's the severity?
They're not saying. Maybe it's a hamstring, a leg. I'm not sure.
So we probably should have asked our good friend Thigh Doc, who was on here a bit earlier, if he were to hear anything about that.
They don't put anything out, really, the Patriots. But, man, Stephon Diggs, he got cooked by Stephon Diggs today. And
so you're telling me that Stephon Diggs looks as crisp as humanly possible
he looks
coming
crisp.
off of that injury. That's insane.
And one thing I want to call your running back, Cook. You know, he was tied for the NFL for running backs at 16 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
He was ranked number 1. So if you lose him, he's like your best offensive weapon.
Mm-hmm. So we actually had his agent on yesterday. I'm not sure if you had an opportunity of watching that.
I saw glimpses. You know, I was at work, so I did.
Yeah. We had his agent on yesterday, man. Shout out to Zach Hiller. He's the CEO of Loyalty Above All Sports and Entertainment. And yeah, man, like he feels the exact same way. And so I do think that the production James Cook put out in 2024 is largely slept on. I do like our offensive line. And so I do think that Ray Davis would be just fine. Ideally, I would not like to move on from James Cook. And who knows, like based off of the conversation I had yesterday with the agent, and while he didn't say this outright, I kind of got the energy that maybe Buffalo should be on their seat a little bit, like right on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, like I wrote the super chat today. I'll take him on the Patriots, man. You don't want him.
I'll take him on the Patriots, Dan Mitchell. I'll take James.
He's got better numbers than Saquon Barkley. He's ranked number 1 in touchdowns. He hit 1,000 yards again. And last thing, I thought the jerseys were out too today because on your show it says someone said I think July 27th.
Yeah.
So I jumped and I'm thinking August 27th. So I thought that they got released early.
Yeah. Dude. Someone got me with that earlier this morning as well. I saw it and I was just like, holy shit.
So,
let me see the snow version of some Buffalo Bills stuff. And it just turned out that it's August 28th.
I think they're going to do a Vice.
I feel like they have to. I feel like they have to.
Miami Heat style one. With the
Yeah.
The Bills, I think you guys are going to do like a snow with like that red. I saw the red helmets they're bringing back.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have a snow with like red in it or something. Like those old school Patriots jerseys we wear.
So what are the Pats about to do? All right. What are the Patriots here?
Now,
let me see if I can find any concepts.
Ours was in snow too.
Rivalry's jersey. I'm kind of curious to see what it is because we're
snow like your guys. You see the similarities, so I think it's gonna be like a white, silver, like a blackish. You know, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a little black and white with the T's over there.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're actually both wearing them on week 5. So I think one of us will go with white. And maybe somebody else will have something else. Like here's like one concept somebody put together.
Yeah, the black. But I think it's going to be more focused on the black, like the helmet.
Yeah.
The Jets, man. I know it's going to look like puke, their jersey. It's going to be like some green. Fucking hate the Jets. Sorry for my language. Sorry.
I effing hate the Jets up in here, man.
Listen, man. they took our coach. They took our Curtis Martin. They never got him a Super Bowl. And I can, if I'm here talking about the Jets and the history of the Jets,
yeah,
and Bill Parcells, man, I'm gonna be here for an hour.
Oh my God, dude, listen, man, dude, let me tell you what, man, we appreciate you calling,
we got Revis from them, and then he had to come to us, and he tweeted out, "I'm a Patriot." So their greatest player, so I was thinking, no, their greatest player had to come to Tom Brady. Oh. I can go on when I bring the Jets.
No, man. And listen, we're gonna have to have you on when we have a Jets topic
Mo
on
Lewis,
here. Because
and I can go on and on with Mo Lewis and Bill. It's not enough time. What I can do with the Jets, it's not enough time. Because I can go on with the whole history of this. Why I hate that team.
Oh, dude.
So it's gonna be like a puke green, like a slime. You know when you throw up that green, like that's what their jerseys are gonna be. They don't even play in New York. Buffalo is the only New York team.
That's right.
Geographical.
That's damn right. That's damn right, my friend.
They play in New Jersey. They don't even play in the same state. New England.
So you preach it. So you preach it from the mountaintops. I'm gonna let you go, my friend.
Okay,
I appreciate you.
Okay.
But you have a good one, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to my guy right there and his absolute hatred for the New York Jets. I think that we can all appreciate that, folks. That was the Garage Beer Hotline. Nothing wrong with everybody rolling on in and showing a little bit of love and discussing what happened at camp. So, guys, again, like I said, good day at practice. I wouldn't really worry a lot about the injuries that we saw, maybe with the exception of Tyler Bass, but still something to keep an eye out on. I will be live again bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST. All right. Several of you were in here this morning, and I imagine the vast majority of you will be here tomorrow as well. Guys, just engrave it in your mind. All right. Dan Mitchell is live at 9 a.m. EST and 6 p.m. EST each and every single day, Monday through Friday, for the foreseeable future until we get into next off season. So you are about to be seeing quite a bit of me. Hit that thumbs up sign for me. We know that that is the responsibility so we can grow our live chat audience as much as humanly possible. I love each and every single one of you, and I will see you a bit later. You enjoy your Monday. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Peace.